Here we have the all-new 2025 Lincoln Navigator. This one comes in the black label trim level in infinite black metallic. And then we have in light and warm leather interior. The powertrain consists of a 3.5 liter twin turbocharged V6 that's made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And super excited about this all-new Navigator. As we come to the front end here, what we'd expect from the new Lincoln lineup, we kind of got this from the Nautilus, that LED light bar, LED headlamps, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful spec here. I love how this vehicle spec'd out, just the redesign, everything about this is fantastic. Now these are 24-inch aluminum wheels. I love the design here, and it really just makes this black pop even more. So just a super, super impressive spec. Passive keyless entry on the front doors, power door lock controls, one-touch up and down windows on all four doors. And we do have a 28-speaker Revel Ultima surround sound system. And I did a sound system test on that, so you can check that out in the shorts, but incredible sound there. Lift gate controls, and then we have our electronic parking brake, hood release. Now these pedals are power adjustable, so pretty neat there. But here is the power driver's seat. We do get 4-way power lumbar and massage. But I do want to give a huge thanks to Lincoln of Franklin for allowing me to review this Navigator today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But there's our power second row that also has power lumbar and massage as well. So pretty impressive here. Let's take a look at this rear seat room. So pretty comfortable. I'm 6'3" with longer legs. I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, and sitting back here behind myself, great space. Now, I am pairing the rear seat entertainment system, but had to download some software updates to get that going. But you can use Netflix, HDMI port, whatever you need. And then you also have headphone input as well. So just a really impressive system. You do get those two screens. And then you also have the ability to open or close the sunshade from back here, which is pretty neat. And then down here, 3-pronged 120 volt household plug-in. And then fold this down, you do have bottle holders below. Now we're gonna get to the front momentarily, but I wanna give you a nice view from back here because this interior, like the Nautilus, is just next level futuristic. We have that big screen pillar to pillar, that second screen down below, and then just having that 2-spoke steering wheel, just the epitome of luxury, in my opinion, for this black label Navigator. But back here to the second row, we are able to adjust our lumbar either from the screen here or those buttons on the side of the seats. The massage function as well, and it is very comfortable, I'll tell you that. But then we can also adjust the audio, the climate controls, and then air quality, and then that lighting as well. We do get ambient lighting throughout, which looks fantastic. It's just kind of hard to see during the day like this, but if you look closely, you can see that green strip there, and then as I change the colors, what it looks like. And then you can even adjust that brightness. So very, very cool. Now here in the middle, you do get wireless charging pad there, 2 bottle holders, center console cubby space for the second row. And then there's your third row there, which does have 2-stage heated seats. Seat back pockets on both sides for the second row. And then in terms of the second row seats, you do have heated and cooled there. And then you also have a chauffeur option as well. So it's just so neat back here. But you can hang a pretty sturdy, probably even a uniform on this hook. LED lights on the back, rear vents there. Now with the 28-speaker system, those are throughout the headliner. Which I forgot to mention, the headliner is also very luxurious. Now these doors are not soft close, which I would have expected, but no big deal, in my opinion. Now to the back end, interesting design choice, I think. You get the LED tail lamps. It just looks kind of boxy from the back, but I'm sure I'll grow to love it because everything else about this right off the bat is just fantastic. But trailer hitch is integrated behind that cover. There's your spare, there's the exhaust. But let's go ahead and open it from the back. It's another interesting design here. Like in the Range Rovers, we have a two-part tailgate, or lift gate, excuse me. We can adjust our third row here. We can power fold that. And then you have another 120 volt three-prong plug-in here, a 12 volt, and two USB-C ports. But when the seats are up far enough in the second row, you can fold this thing flat. But it does have a little trip, which is nice. So if that seat in the second row is up too far or back too far and this starts folding, it'll come back so that you're not smashing the headrest in. So that's pretty neat because I haven't seen that in another vehicle. But I am gonna fold this down just so we can kind of see back here. Two USB-C charge ports, bottle holders, and then you can adjust the actual third row itself from back there too. Now I want to say, can you do that power? Yeah, this does fold back up. So that's pretty neat too. So I mean, for the price tag, they didn't miss on anything so far. Very impressed. Now back to the second row here. With this being a black label, not really a way to kind of just fold this flat, but you can scoot that up and you do get ample room to get back here. And then you can also just one touch move it back or forth. Now here, hidden storage compartment, which is pretty neat. Right underneath that kind of center console for the second row. But let's look at this window sticker because there is just so much that I've shown, and this just, I'm gonna show you why you get all this stuff here for the price. But you can pause anywhere you need to take a closer look at anything in the window sticker. This is almost $122,000 MSRP. So one thing I can say about this Black Label Navigator is you pretty much get what you're paying for. And then you also get the Black Label member privileges, which are pretty neat. You get the anytime car wash. But power front passenger seat again with that power massage, power lumbar. A lockable glove compartment here. And I'm just going really slowly here because there's so much to see and there's so much luxury on this Black Label Navigator. It's really crazy. Now coming back around to the front, so we can get this release to work. And there's that 3.5 twin turbo V6. And before we get in the driver's seat, I'm going to show you these turn signals. So you can see the light there. So love the blinkers. Let's go ahead and get in. There's the horn. But again, love the steering wheel. Leather wrap, feels fantastic. Now we're gonna take a quick look at this screen here first. It's not as functional as the actual screen I'm about to show you second, but a nice look here. So we can see how much fuel we have, the cruise controls, all of that, who doesn't have their seatbelt on, Google Maps, and then here you can customize these widgets. So I have the fuel economy, the media, and then the clock setup here. But most of the action happens down here in the screen. So home page here, you can go to the audio app, add your phone, and then set up your profiles here. Now it is kind of waking up because all this stuff hasn't been activated, so. But within the actual screen itself, there's so much you can do. So I can go into these settings here. I have my drive modes. I can adjust those here. The automatic brake hold, traction control. The memory seats are actually in the screen here. So that's how you can save and restore those. And you actually save them to your profile to make it easier when you get in and out. And then your seat controls are here. You can move the second row seats, move the front passenger seat. The ambient lighting and the headlamps are in the screen here. And there's a shortcut for that, so you don't have to go through the actual settings and all that. It's kind of hidden, but you can just set it to auto and you'll be good most of the time. But you can manually adjust that there again, as well as the ambient lighting. And vehicle status is a nice one. So tire pressure, you can see that, and oil life. But a ton of settings there, and then you can actually go into the settings themselves. So you have your vehicle settings in here. So you can adjust the power running boards, the windows, all of that. Your driver assistance, if you want to change your cruise from adaptive to normal. Turn the lane centering off. I mean, so much in here. I could be on the screen all day, but I just want to show you all the important stuff. And then your sound, which it's crazy with this Revel sound system how much you can do. You can adjust this just any way you want with the quantum logic. Now here, this is where you adjust the widgets and all of that for the screen there. And then we have all of our apps and whatnot here. So Bluetooth audio, your messages, Apple CarPlay, towing, and then you have the Google Maps, Play Store, Google Assistant. You get AM, FM, XM radio. And then you even have games available, the YouTube app. Just a ton of stuff in the screen. Now finally, you have your AC control. So you can adjust fan direction, the recirculate, if you want to sync the temperatures, all of that there. And then you can even adjust where the vent is blowing within the screen here. And then if you watch, it's actually kind of moving within there. So that's pretty neat. I feel like that might be an issue if I fool with it too much, but it's cool. And then again, fan direction here, you can cut the whole system off. Adjust the rear as well if you want to do that. And then our actual temperatures are down here below. And then 3-stage heated cooled seats are here. And then you have that auto as well if you just want to set that. And then your heated steering wheel for the driver. Like the shortcut down here, click this, and that pulls up everything here, as well as your backup camera and your bird's eye view on the screen up top. And again, with how this screen is, my camera's just picking it up. It's not necessarily looking like that, but with LEDs and all that, that's how these cameras work. But trailer brake controller here, Pro Trailer there. And then for the shifter, just hit the brake, it's push button, park, reverse, neutral, drive. And then you have that manual mode, and your gear shift is right here. Volume knob is right there. You can click there to kind of turn the audio off. And then very important here, this is where your hazards are. So a kind of weird space, but it is close to the shifter at least. And then your auto stop toggle, your drive modes, you can adjust with the push of a button there, and then scroll through all of your options. So that's kind of interesting. Kind of everything is going through the screen is wild. So I do like the normal drive mode though, that you can either set it in 2-wheel drive or set it to the 4-wheel automatic. So you don't necessarily have to only be in 2-wheel drive and normal like most all-wheel drive vehicles are. It's pretty cool. And then down here, USB-A, USB-C duo, wireless charging pad, bottle holders. You can stow all of this. And even though this isn't like a typical wood grain, I do like the design here and it feels pretty nice. In your center console cubby space, 2 more USB-C ports, 12 volt removable tray. Garage door transmitters here, sunglasses holder there. And then all of your controls for the sunroof. But that is for the sunshade. And you can vent or slide the roof back. So that's one touch. Then hit it a second time, and that's how far back it goes. I want to take one more look at that rear seat. Gosh, it's so nice in here. Now, one thing I was interested in is we don't have a rear camera mirror that we can adjust just with a button or something here, but not really a big deal for me. Vanity mirror looks very nice. And then back to the steering wheel itself, blinkers. And we do get the curbside camera view. And again, I'm sorry it's not picking it up to the best of my ability, but again, that's just how this camera is. And then over here, we do get automatic wipers. So one time, off, auto, low, high. We can adjust that auto sensitivity here. And then our rear wiper, little knob right there. And then you just push back for that rear wiper fluid, pull up for the front. And then the cruise controls, hit that there. We can adjust. As you can see, how my finger's moving here, it's matching up with that on the screen there. So I can set the cruise on, off, lane keeping system, gap adjust there. It takes some getting used to, but once you get used to it, these are one of the coolest things about these new Lincolns. And then over here, hit this button, we can adjust our adjustable pedals, our side mirrors, as well as the tilt and telescope of the steering wheel. Push button starts here. Finally, here is our key fob with remote start. But finally, let's go ahead and take this 2025 Lincoln Navigator Black Label out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Navigator here, very nice SUV. Just behind the wheel, everything feels so premium. It's so quiet in here. And for $122,000, if I had the money, I would not be ashamed to spend it on something like this, because it is great in every sense. But you know, you expect that, I guess, opulence from any vehicle like this. So a loaded out Escalade Platinum, a Navigator Black Label, even a Grand Wagoneer, you expect what you get here. But I mean, I feel like the Navigator just took it to a whole other level with the all new screen. Just how they kept some things that a lot of people have always loved that other manufacturers have cut. Like still having the power adjustable pedals. And then just some newer things like having the power tilt telescoping steering wheel, just a button within the steering wheel controls, as opposed to having something on the side here on the column. Just a lot of tasteful upgrades in my opinion. Now the normal drive mode is probably what I would use if I were using this, let's say, to chauffeur, or just if I wanted the most comfortable ride. It comes out of a stop very nicely, no jerking, no thrashing. Even though you have a 3.5 twin turbo V6, it feels very comfortable. It's honestly hard not to drive this thing like a chauffeur in this drive mode. It's so nice. And then the older Navigator was still great, but this is just another level of refinement here. Absolutely fantastic. Now this 2-spoke steering wheel definitely helps, just with how Lincoln has done this with the Nautilus and with this Navigator. It's just easier to drive, I feel like, and you just want to drive this thing, again, like you're trying to chauffeur somebody. but ride is great. How this thing drives is great. I'm so impressed. Now I am gonna put it in the sport mode here, or excite, excuse me. And I'm gonna give it just a slight pull. Not gonna floor it. This only has a little under 50 miles, but I am gonna give it a little something. Here we go. Yeah, effortless, just effortless in terms of the acceleration. And for a vehicle this big, just downright impressive. Now I have the hands-free driving. Now, let's see how this does. So pretty good coming down the highway here. Ride is phenomenal. But just in terms of how the hand-free is working, I'm very impressed. Like, there are no lines here. It's still kind of keeping that line. Had a little bit of hesitation there, but again, there's no lines there whatsoever. Now, I do want to give one more big thanks to Lincoln of Franklin for allowing me to review this Navigator today. I will leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But again, just final thoughts on this. Downright impressive, from the ride quality to the features to the looks. Everything on this Navigator, again, just screams luxury without screaming, if that makes sense. It's such a subtle vehicle, so nice on the inside. It's beautiful on the outside, and I feel like this is the new bar, and I kind of hesitate saying that, but I feel like this is the new bar for a luxury SUV. It just has everything, and it does it just like a Lincoln should. But with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 Lincoln Navigator Black Label.